G'day, Steve Morgan here, Australian Bass Tournaments. We've just finished the Rapala BASS Australian Open on Somerset Dam. I have second place here, Tommy Wood. Tommy Wood, this is your first tournament as a boater. Not a bad finish, mate. Second in the Australian Open and $3,000 for your efforts.
Yeah, no, thanks, Steve. It's pretty special to come out here as a boater for my first time and get such a high place finish, and to do it the same way that I fish for Barra, as I have since I was a kid, is pretty cool.
Yeah, well, you sort of still are a kid, mate. You're only a kid a couple of years ago, but take us through the technique you use, because come today when we turned the scoreboard off, you were leading this event. Mick Johnson was struggling. It was only like a last fish by him on his second last cast that got him the win. So take us through your techniques and how you got it done.
Yep. So, I started off in pre-fish. I found that I was catching fish on these 3/8 size blades. Didn't really matter what colour or what brand. Just slow rolling them around rocky banks and
fishing them like a crankbait?
Yeah, fishing them like a crankbait. So I know a lot of guys are throwing TNs, and that was just a bit more subtle, so I could catch fish behind people, which was really good. So it didn't matter how pressured the banks were, I could still catch fish behind people. And that was on a Samaki C12, 6 to 12 pound.
Yep.
And beautiful rod, whips them blades out and still soft enough to keep the hooks in. So, and then on day one, I actually found a heap of fish up in grass, up on the edge and about 6 foot. And I didn't even find that in the pre-fish. I found it during the comp, and I pulled up and there was a lot of fish out deep, and I thought, I'm just going to gun it out here for a bit, see what happens. And I put the pole down, put it in forward view on the Garmin, and had the 84-16 out the front, so it was super clear, could see everything, and got the jerkbait out and just watch them eat it on forward view. So,
take us through that retrieve. You're saying you're catching him off forward view, but take us through a cast. What are you throwing out? What are you seeing? How are you working it?
Yeah, so same way that you and I both fish for Barra with jerkbaits, and this is a 7 foot C12. It's a bit lighter again. I think, what's this one? It's a
brim rod, mate.
Yeah, it's a 4 to 8 pound, so super light, super whippy. So makes those casts real easy as well with the little jerkbaits like this. And what I was finding was the fish were in this grass in about 2 foot, and you'd cast up there, and as you bring the jerkbait out, you'd see 4 or 5 of them follow it out. And if you, like as usual, if you moved it too fast, they'd sort of spook off. So it's just going real slow, small taps, and the fish would hang around for a bit. And if you had one fish, they wouldn't take it, but if you had a couple there competing against each other, they would take it. So, and they were the better fish. I got 44, 46 and a 49 all in one afternoon, so it's pretty special.
So that was at the end of the first day. You would have been thinking, man, I've got this nailed for tomorrow. Yeah. They're going to be biting their lights out. What happened today?
Yeah, no, didn't work that well. So I got 2 good ones off it, but yeah, just not good enough.
Yeah. So you had your limit coming into the 2 hours before the scoreboard got shut off. Did you know what Mick was doing? Because he said you were fishing pretty close together.
Yeah, we found the same fish, so we sort of knew what we were doing. And I know before the scoreboard went off that he only had 1 fish, and I saw him catch that 1 fish. I had 3, so I was like, I need to get my bag. And I rolled around to another bank where I got my bag early on day one, and I knew there were a bunch of 35s and that sort of range fish, and got a 35, and the next one was a 42, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Hopefully we can get a few more like that. And about half an hour later, see Mick Johnson roll down the bank, goes fish the bank behind me as well, and then he got a couple good ones. So
yeah. So you sort of knew that during the reveal that he had a few more fish that were on his scoreboard when the scores were turned off.
Yeah, I was watching him catch it, so it was pretty disheartening, but that's the way it is.
Now, I did say during the presentation that were you tempted just to do laps around him for the next 2 hours after we turned the scoreboard off when you were ahead?
Yeah, definitely.
You're a nice fella, Tommy, one of the nice guys on the tour. We know you wouldn't do that, even though you wanted to.
Yeah, no, I wanted to pretty bad, but well done, Mick. You smashed it.
Any other sponsors you want to thank? Samaki gear was pretty good to you. Is that new Altolis braid?
Yeah, so this is the new X braid that's just come out. This is one of their more finesse spec braids, and it's super sensitive. So when you're suspending jerkbaits, any little tick, you can feel it right through the blank of the C12 as well. So super important just to have the best of the best gear just to help you get those good fish in. Awesome,
mate. Well, congratulations. You've hit the boater trail with a bang now.
Yep.
It's $3,000 for a fish, mate. It probably only goes down from here, but we're going to see you at the Bass Grand Final at the Clarence as a non-boater.
Yep, no, definitely. And big thanks to Maui Gym this week as well. I've just signed up a bit of a deal with them, and they were awesome out there today. So
there you go. Second place, Rapala BASS Australian Open.